In this topic, we'll understand the various uses of Python. Python can be used to develop various types of applications such as console command line applications, system administration applications, game development using module named Pygame, and much more. Python can be used to write server-side web applications with different levels of complexity from monolithic to microservices architecture. We will learn about Django, a Python web framework to help build interactive websites. Python provides a huge number of libraries to work on big data. Python is the most popular language used for machine learning that provides computers the ability to learn without being explicitly programmed. Python can be used to automate anything from web scraping, sending emails, and more. When we speak of Python, we often mean not just the language but also the implementation. Python is actually a specification for a language that can be implemented in many different ways. Let's take a look at some of the implementations of the Python programming language. CPython is the default, most widely used implementation of the Python programming language. As the name implies, CPython is written in C. When we download the Python software from the official website of Python, that is python.org, then the downloaded Python is CPython. Jython is a Python implementation for any Java virtual machine compliant with Java 7 or better. Jython programs use Java classes instead of Python modules. Jython compiles into Java bytecode, which can then be run by Java virtual machine. A major issue with Jython is that it is slower than CPython and lacks compatibility with CPython libraries. IronPython is a Python implementation that can use the .NET framework and Python libraries, and also the other .NET languages can easily use the Python code. PyPy is a Python implementation written in Python language itself. PyPy is fast and flexible and able to target several lower-level languages and virtual machines using advanced techniques such as type inferencing. PyPy's greatest strength is its ability to generate native machine code just in time as it runs your Python program, which is faster than the CPython interpreter. RubyPython acts as a bridge between the Python and Ruby interpreters. It embeds a running Python interpreter in the Ruby applications process and provides a means for wrapping, converting, and calling Python objects and methods. Stackless Python is a Python implementation that does not use the C stack. Stackless Python allows you to run hundreds of thousands of tiny tasks called tasklets in a single main thread. This allows programmers to reap the benefits of thread-based programming without the performance and complexity problems associated with conventional threads. Python XY is a free scientific and engineering development software for numerical computations, data analysis, and data visualization based on Python programming language. Anaconda is a free and open source distribution of the Python and R programming languages that aims to simplify package management and deployment. Designed for data science and machine learning workflows, Anaconda is commonly used for large-scale data processing, scientific computing, and predictive analytics. The only language that a computer understands is the machine language, which is strictly written in binary zeros and ones, which means that the computer does not understand a program written in a high-level language such as Python. The program needs to be converted to a machine language for the computer to understand and execute. For this, we require either a compiler or an interpreter. Let us understand more about compiled and interpreted languages. Most high level languages generally fall into one of the two categories: compiled or interpreted languages. Compiled code are converted directly into machine code that the processor can execute. As a result, they tend to be faster and more efficient to execute than interpreted languages. They also give the developer more control over hardware aspects such as memory management and CPU usage. Examples of pure compiled languages include C, C++, Erlang, Go, etc. Interpreters will run through a program line by line and execute each command without previously converting them to an object code or machine code. Interpreted languages were once known to be significantly slower than compiled languages, but with the development of just in time compilation, that gap is shrinking. Examples of common interpreted languages are PHP, Ruby, JavaScript, and of course Python, since it runs directly from the source code.